All right, we're live here. All right, hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, just sitting here drinking my morning coffee, looking sexy as hell as usual. We'll let this fill up. It takes a little bit for the coffee chats to warm up, but sometimes when they warm up, they get real good. Get all of our regulars in here. Uh, yep. I didn't put any extra informatives up yesterday. I think yesterday kind of showed me that any way it breaks down, man, the lives are really what does the most for this channel. Um, you know, people watch the informatives, but they're hit or miss. So I feel like the real efforts for this channel are the live streams at this point. So it's going to grow it. It's what actually puts revenue in, and it's what gets me clients. So, I mean, realistically, yeah. I mean, like yesterday, super chats. The channel got $50 in super chats yesterday, just in the live stream. It's not counting ads and new followers, but then I get clients out of these too, so it kind of matters. Yeah. So again, live streams and then shorts get lots of views, but we're going to keep doing that informative. I'm going to do them in bursts like that. Sometimes I feel like putting 5 or 6 up in a day because I have such a big backlog. I make so many of them. Like a lot of times I have 70 or 80 of them just sitting there not uploaded. But yeah. I thought I'd just shade this. I might need to tidy it up again. So as soon as you guys get in here, hit that like button. I'm still waking up. This is my first cup of coffee, so I like to wake up with everybody in here. And yeah, I think a lot of the regulars like that. They like waking up. The coach, they're like, oh, coach is all chill in the mornings. He's not all. I don't get all excited like in the other lives. You know, still can't do more lives on Facebook. I overdid it. As soon as that comes back up, that's good too. When we can double dip. I guess I exceeded how many hours they wanted me to do in a month. To be fair though, I was in there like 3 hours a day. But it's nice when you can double dip, right, both platforms. All right, training today is going to be lifting, like really good GPP yesterday. I feel like that's carrying over a lot. I feel like it's doing a lot for my big lifts, at least the squat and the deadlift. But the benching, yeah, I need to push the incline up and the tricep work. And the reason I say the triceps, it's kind of funny. It's not that my triceps limit my bench at all. Absolutely not. I don't even feel my triceps on heavy bench now. I feel it on high rep work. It's about protecting my shoulders, maintaining that shoulder health. But also, as one of my friends pointed out who watches stuff, he's like, I think those overhead kettlebells are going to help you a lot with that range of motion. Because I'm forcing it, and then I'm forcing myself to get strong into that position again. Because that's the other end of it. I can almost lock the barbell when I go really light, but it's just so weak. I think that's the problem. Whereas then I can incline a truck, but I do need to push the incline up. It carries over to my bench a lot, and keep benching. But yeah, I want the bench to get up. So I think I'm going to do more of just taking the dad bod strength standard maxes and just working with it as work sets, And it'd be cool if I could get all 3 of them to 10 reps instead of maxes. The bench is the farthest away. Doesn't have to be though. Doesn't have to be. I think if I keep building the chest and the shoulders back up, it won't be. Right? But for me, the triceps is really just about shoulder health. It's about shoulder health with the bench because it changes the bar path. Strong triceps absolutely change your bar path. I think for a lot of especially my older guys, I hate to say older. Sorry, guys, my over 40 guys, just building your triceps up for your bench is a good idea. For that reason, just because it's protective of the shoulders. Of course, I say that, and people who are listening have no clue. They're not really experienced lifters. They don't understand why that is, and that's okay. Has to do with lockout positions and shoulder stress. Really strong triceps have a different lockout bar path if they're strong relative to the weight you have on the bar than weak triceps. So if your triceps are weak, the bar will drift further over your face at the lockout to compensate so that your anterior delts can take over. Which is not optimal for your shoulder health, right? Hence why we would make that statement. All right? We good, everybody get it. We all understand. Well, we got likes in here, just not any comments. So I have it set to see everybody. I have it set. We do got it set. So I should be able to see stuff. In the meantime, I'll make some other posts. I'll be back to you guys in just a second. Got to make our other posts while we wait. Come back over. Anything? Morning, bro. What's up, Kevin? How you doing, bro? Sorry, I had to make a Facebook post whilst we wait on people to get in here. It's too bad I can't do Facebook Lives this week. It's not letting me do them. It's like you've done too many, you're blocked. But all my other stuff is doing well, so it's all good. I like being able to double dip and stream on all my platforms. All right. How you doing, Kevin? We have the regulars haven't hit yet. I might need to do it. They'll come in eventually. All the regulars see it. So if it doesn't pop up, they just check in and realize there's a streaming going. Right. But as more people come in, it kicks it into feeds. I've noticed too, as soon as I get a super chat, I've had regulars say it makes it start going into feeds. Like, yeah, as soon as they're making any money, they obviously want everybody in. Oh, man. But I'm doing good, Kevin. Yeah, it's just going to be a trickle. It's going to be really low views till more people come in and comment, and then it picks up. Because no one wants to sit other than the regulars and wait for conversations. And I'm waking up, so I don't have a huge number of topics I'm ready to hit. It is 5 in the morning, and I'm on my first cup of coffee. And I'll go get ready to lift after this coffee chat. Yeah, I added incline bench back in, and as I said, I was a hair disappointed, to be honest. I was a hair disappointed, so I've definitely got to push incline back up. I just felt like I was good for more than 6 pause reps at 225 on an incline after benching. Yeah, like, we got to fix that. Yeah, but we'll get there. I feel like kind of like on that, I want to get to sets of 10, 225. I'll pause, put me in a good place. I don't know that I need to incline more than 225, really, as long as it's repping it out. It's a supplemental lift, really. I mean, I like to max on it, but do we really have to? We really have to put 3 plates on the bar for the incline just to get strong at everything? I don't think so. I'd probably max out on overhead press again when I can get the range of motion back. So I don't see the need to go super heavy on anything but my big 3. Unless we're doing conjugate, then we max on everything. But that's a different mindset. I think people forget that. When you're in conjugate programming, it's a paradigm shift, and your mindset has to change. But then people forget that, for example, when I've been my strongest doing conjugate, or even my really, really strong conjugate lifters, I put clips up of their training. I think people forget, even though our mindset is heavy on all this stuff, maxing out, we max on 30 different lifts, that's only 5% of the training, right? The other 95% is either speed work or 10 plus reps. Like, everything is high reps. You know, but you take a different approach to your 3 paradigms, right? Your max work should be truly heavy, and you max on 30, 40 different exercises. Your speed work should be really fast, and your hypertrophy work should be thinking purely about, can I get bigger? All right. And you're not even worried about getting a lot of weight on the bar unless you have to stay in the rep range you want, because that's already handled by the max work. So that's kind of the way that system works, is you're training each training modality with no concern for overlap in the performance end, because it all balances in the end anyways, right? You're not trying to train multiple performance outcomes from any given thing. Whereas if we're doing heavy 5s or 6s, we're obviously seeking multiple things. I still have that whole photo shoot. I have like 30 or 40 pictures from it. So when did I do that? I'm trying to remember what month. Was it February? What I thought was hilarious, and this is like the friend who did the pictures, she was like, you should take it as a compliment that your haters think you photoshopped. Yeah, she's like, take that as a compliment. Chris says the Mr. Olympia standard's gone down because heavy roids and dehydration, and we were taking less risks. What do you mean, has it gone down? The standard. What do you mean they're taking less risk? They're taking more risk. Yeah, Chris, I really don't understand your question. Please ask it a different way. I'm good, mate. Just glad you're well, man. I'm trying to lose this weight. Got to bring my blood pressure down. Have lost some already. It's doing the trick. Yeah, no, absolutely, dude. If you're carrying extra body fat and you start bringing it down, your blood pressure will immediately start going down, right? So usually a lot of those health markers during the weight loss will always improve. When you normalize again, they'll come back up a hair. So just be aware of some of that. All the winners are less shredded. No, I think it's the case of this year. Yeah, because no one can get Primo or Master on. They're not really available on the black market, so that's a big factor. We've talked about this, guys. Remember, didn't I say this a few months back? I'm like, I wonder how this is going to affect bodybuilding. Right now that the Chinese are no longer exporting raw materials for Primo and Masteron, I wonder what's going to happen to competitive bodybuilding. Are they going to be less shredded? Do you guys remember me saying that? Anybody remember me saying that? That's a factor. Now, that being said, no, it's because they have worse genetics worth out. They're getting bigger and bigger, and so essentially they're struggling to get the water weight down. Right, they're getting so big and they're having to use so many drugs, so much insulin and other stuff that they're too inflamed to really maintain the peaks they're looking for in terms of the dehydration. Right. I mean, think about, for example, look how those guys looked even compared to 10 years ago or 20 years ago. None of those guys would have even placed back then. Right. Look at any of that top 5, top 6. Go back 20 years. Would they have placed at all? But a single one of those guys had placed. They wouldn't have made the top 10. The last 5 Mr. Olympia winners wouldn't have made the top 10 20 years ago. They're literally just bags of oil at this point because of the size they're chasing. I'm not a fan of even the 20 years ago. I think it was a death cult even then. I think bodybuilding needs to go back to the 50s. All right, what's up, King Beast? How you doing, bro? What's on the agenda today? The agenda today is going to be lifting weights. All right. Hey, music. I don't know. You said or 40s. I didn't catch your first post. Yeah, it's going to be a heavy squat, bench, and deadlift type of morning, and then we're going to do a bunch of incline and chin-ups. That's what's going to happen. All right. The GPP is going really well. Now, let me see. So, yeah, I have all the originals right here, even on this phone for that photo shoot. So the thing is, yeah, they're just unedited. I don't know if you can see it from here. Will it show, or is the lighting going to be a problem? Let me see if you can get it right. You can't quite see it because of the stupid lighting. Yeah, that's the photo shoot. So how many pictures did we get? 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 100 photos in that shoot. Yeah, there's 100 photos in that shoot. I have a bunch of tasteful nudes, but those didn't go up in public. Right. Those are just for other stuff. I got about 20 of those. Yeah. No, so it was the friend who took it. She thought it was hilarious. She thought it was hilarious that people online were like, "Oh, because she went and looked and saw some of it. She thought it was hilarious. She's like, "No, you actually look like that." She gives me, that's one of those friends, because she has an eye for lighting. She gives me a hard time about my filming. She's like, "You need to learn better angles and lighting because you look tiny as F in your videos." She's like, "You look really small online in your channel." as someone who's, taking pictures like that. So she gives me a hard time about it. Hope Psych doesn't see it otherwise. Dude, trust me, you're good, man. I'm not going to be out there chasing women right now. It's all good. She's all yours, Dad, but you got to work on your pickup game a little bit, man. All right. You got to work on your game. This whole insulting a woman doesn't work. This reverse psychology. You have to be like the booty warrior. All right, you got to be like the booty warrior from that clip. You got to be like, I like you and I want you. All right, and I'm gonna have you. Don't include the other line that you told the men in prison, which is, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. Tell me you guys know the booty warrior clip. That's what we used to make fun of Cali Muscle with. If you haven't seen it, go look it up. It's from like 15, 20 years ago. It was a real prison interview situation. The booty warrior. All right. See music. Never. No, you need to do a little bit of chasing. Explain how this works. No, if you're taking care of your stuff, women will come to you. When you have the one that you want, you do a little chasing. All right. You got to play a little bit of chase. All right. That's the point, guys. All right. That's how it works. Friday night, Dad and the boys. You pick it. Yeah. So, when you've got the different ones, all right, you're going to attract women if you're taking care of your business. Then you say, this one looks like a really good match. I like this one. You can chase her. But don't be out chasing randoms. I got to get some coffee, guys. All right. Oh man, she'll probably get in here, but she almost always makes a coffee chat, even if she just says hello. So I don't know. She doesn't seem like the clubbing type. If I were to just make a guess, looking at the way she is in here, I doubt it. In the city I live, every day, some they know from high school, almost like it law. I'm not sure what she wrote. She's a bit of a prude. There she is. All right. So they were just debating that. Let's see who got it right. They're over here saying she's at the club. I don't think Psych is the type who hangs out at the club. I already go my initial gut instinct. I don't think she's a club girl. But I told you guys this stuff too. I made a post on that the other day. I'm like, you can't meet a boyfriend or a girlfriend at the club. Like, you can't date people you meet at the club and not expect them to behave in the relationship like people who hang out at the club. Like, it's the way it works. You can't do that. You accept them for who they are. They hang out at the club. They're the sort of person who hangs out at the club. let's just be realistic. Hey, Dad, we were just talking about pickup lines. And I said that your game needs some work. That's definitely not. You need some work on that. That's bro. Yeah. See, Dad, here's the thing. All the women who know me think I'm a perfect gentleman in person. Like they don't get the side of me you guys get in these streams. I am like a complete gentleman to women. It's just how I am, man. So I actually wouldn't do that. I'm actually I'm not the controlling, give ultimatums to women. I would never want to be with someone I would feel the need to be controlling with. That's already, if they even would make me feel the need to be controlling, it's time to just cut that shit loose. Like that's just, I don't want to live like that. Like, who wants to live like that? It's up, Lars. Have no self-control. You got to work on your impulse control a little bit, man. You got to learn to just, I have no filter in here. The stuff that comes out of my mouth in these streams. I still have no filter around women. They think that's funny too, but I'm a gentleman to women. Like I'm polite. In the city I live in, everyone dates someone they knew from high school. I've still dated girls I knew from that circle. So, anytime I've been single, there are girls that I've known 20, 30 plus years who one of them will be single and want to go out on a date. It's not really a problem. Doesn't mean I'm going to be in a relationship with them. Right? As a pimp named Sleekback said, can't be out here, as the French call it, sans beachy. Yes, the whole name is a pimp named Slickback, and you have to say the entire thing every time, like a Tribe Called Quest. Right? Some of you are not going to get that reference either. You clearly have not seen Boondocks. We are impulse controlled. Exactly, man. A man is in control of his impulses and emotions. We need to talk about this, Dad. A man is in control of his impulses. This is why we talk about the importance of a code of honor as a rite of passage from boyhood into manhood. If you're a high testosterone male, you have a savage beast inside of you. You shackle it with your code of honor. You have a code of behavior that you follow. You have control. All right. This is part of being a real man. And it's like I used to do some of these before, and I don't like to use the term. Everyone used the term alpha male when I was younger, and it's turned into a strange internet thing where little boys use the term, and now it's made fun of. We all knew what it meant 20, 30 years ago. This was not a problem. It was understood. All right. So I had someone in one of these guys say an alpha male does whatever he wants, and I'm just like, oh my God, it's a complete opposite. Right, the complete opposite. Little boys do whatever they want. Right? So if we were to take, now they're using the term real man, means exactly like when we used to use the term before it got distorted in the online culture. What everyone says a real man now when you see on social media is what we used to call an alpha male. Yeah, it's been turned on its head. So we'll use a real man instead. It's like, no, a real man is guided by his code of honor and what he knows is right. He doesn't work off of his whims. He works off of his code of honor, right? His sense of duty, right? He isn't a braggart who beats his chest and does what he wants. And it was never that way. That's a very new strange. And so then now people make fun of the term. Well, real alphas don't call themselves that. But everyone used the term. Other people called you that. Like when I mentioned that before, it was the statement because that's what other people were calling me. It was not my term or myself. Back when I was with Brittany and everything, some of her friends were like, the dude's really very intimidated by me. It was her personality too. She was very bubbly and flirty with everyone, so dudes got real nervous around me. Yeah. Call that a brute. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the dude who beats his chest and does what he wants. It's like, yeah, it's just that's childish behavior. Like, so we come over to the real men don't respect that. We're just saying, dude, you're a clown. That guy's also drunk half the time. Dad and the boy says, you have humbled me, coach, and now you made me realize I've been behaving like a meme writer. I will do better. Yeah, you can't be like meme writer, dude. Look, man, you got to be calm, be confident. You have to be in control of your impulses. You got to be in control of your impulses. All right. Like we'll use the term a real man. A real man answers to a higher calling. You know, how do you handle the trolls fix when they come to dating? How do you tell them? I think most of the women who know me are aware of the situation. You know? So the other thing is, how about if they don't know about them, then they can't mess with them. Like if they don't know I'm dating somebody, then they don't have to deal with it. But I mean, normal people understand. They realize, oh, you're an internet personality. There's a hate campaign against you. It's just that I have really famous people problems while being not really famous is the best way to describe it. I mean, so look at the stuff that everyone writes about every political leader, right? And it's essentially, I've been satirized in the same manner that political leaders have. Like, go read the things that everyone wrote about the last several presidents. Go read any of the stuff people who hate Joe Biden write about Joe Biden. Read the stuff online that people who hate Trump write about Trump. They're mostly incel men, yeah. One of them has a mail order bride, right, from the Philippines. One of them is married with a small child, actually, which I don't know why he takes the risks he does. So, I mean, some of them are married. Yeah, one of them literally has a mail order bride. Or pretend to be, yeah. You know. One of them is on welfare for his schizophrenia. In all seriousness, I would do the mail order bride thing. Yeah, see, Dad, here's the thing. You see my sigh. You see my side, Dad, in the voice. You do the mail order bride. Man. Right. So you're not going to find a woman who you have things in common with and match with and right. Yeah, it's a financial transaction. it's kind of like, I feel like making a Facebook post about this, honestly. Like I saw a thing the other day with this whole conversation with um, sex bots, right? This next generation of AI sex bots, they've said, are going to be almost indistinguishable from real women in terms of their behavior and how they feel. And dudes be getting excited for it. And it's like, think about this for a moment. The men who are excited and would settle for that, this already explains why they have problems with women. The mere fact that they're willing to settle for a robot imitation tells you what they already think of women, doesn't it? That they would be okay with this. And they would pay thousands of dollars for it. I think we're dealing with the far red pill types. So what does this tell you that they think of women? She's just a hole. They don't see women as something vibrant or special. They clearly don't like women. She's just a hole. So is it any wonder this particular demographic of guys have problems with women? I mean, is it really a wonder? I mean, arranged marriages actually work out pretty well, to be fair. But think about why. How many of those arranged marriages historically in the cultures who do them, they look to see how good of a match they are. I mean, they play matchmaker essentially. I mean, I'm not saying it's what we should all be doing, but culturally it does seem to work. And they report in studies actually a fairly high happiness rate. Right. Tony Hughes is kind of a scam artist, bro. You can just tell you were baiting a dad, right? Right. Yeah. But yeah, no, you're right. This younger generation, they don't. Um, and that's what dating sites attempt to do. But they've turned from matching dating sites to these silly apps. I don't know. He's master baiting, probably. Oh man. I mean, we all know Dad is a troll, but he's not a malicious troll. So right, he doesn't come in making personal attacks at me and watch all the crazy stalker stuff. Like, and to me, that's fascinating. So here's the thing: I have loved ones and people who really know me who've gone and watched a bunch of the troll stuff, and they just watch it and they're like in awe, right? Like I have a friend who literally watched 20 of the documentaries from NH and reported back, right? And they were just like, wow, this is insane. This is someone who's known me personally for many, 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 many years really closely. They're like, this is totally insane. Like, wow. Like these people have no idea. They're completely oblivious about anything about your personality or life or anything. So it's fascinating to people who know me, like my friends and family. They're just like, wow. Oh God, it's just quite funny. Um, you know, so, but that's the nature of the internet. So people get satirized, but it happens to anyone who's a controversial figure. So it happens to all political leaders. You know, well, you don't come across as the crazy stalker types, but I mean, you're definitely a troll. I mean, you still troll even now. It's all good. But there's degrees of trolling. Like I troll. How you doing, Mustafa? I'm doing good. How are you? Mustafa, I've been blocked for a week from Facebook Lives. I did too many hours, and it says you can't do this currently. So I get an error message on all my Facebooks, my profile and my page. But I was doing way too many hours of lives, like double streaming, and it didn't like it, I guess. Plus, some of the stuff I did in here might not have, their AI might not have liked it a lot. Why was your bench press a disaster yesterday, Mustafa? You're going to have to learn to be patient. You put up really advanced numbers, you know. You added weight and lost reps. That's not necessarily a big decline. You know. Mustafa, you want some tough love? Your bench is by far your best lift, and you know you don't have legs. You need to spend more time. You need to be this obsessed over your squatting as you are with your benching. Tough love. The level of obsession you have with your bench, knowing that your legs are lagging, I'd like to see put into your squat. Yeah, we need to get site benching again. She could hire me. I'll fix her bench. I'll fix the shoulder situation. Wouldn't be the first time. I'm trying to build my squat and deadlift. So there you go, Mustafa, get on it. That's keeping you from that next tier of thickness, right? You get all these dudes, right? And I get them on Facebook. Well, you know what? You replace a deadlift for safer lifts, like the deadlift's dangerous. No, I haven't been cutting. I've been staying at the same weight for a long time, Mustafa, for months. No. Okay. No, I've been staying at the same weight. I was not enjoying the cutting. I want to get stronger again. I want to work on my performance. I wanted to work on my running. But that's going to bring my overall metabolic rate, energy turnover back up, and then I'll slowly trim down again. And I've come to realize I don't even think cutting always hurts my coaching business, by the way. It might, certain people on social media might like it as I get leaner, but there's definitely a correlation between my performance and my coaching. Oh, dude, people don't give it. My age demographic does not care about abs at all. No, it's not powerlifters at all. But I can tell you right now, it's just the sort of clients that I generally like. They don't care. They know that being super shredded is not attainable. It's not marketable to them. All right. They just don't care. They want to see me strong and athletic and uninjured at my age. That is what gets me clients. Dad, women are extremely easy to coach. Women are way more coachable than men in the weight room. It's not even comparable. As a coach, I can tell you straight up, women are way easier to coach to lift really heavy weights. Different mindset. They don't have the same egos. Right. I have never met even once a female athlete who has the ego of the average 25-year-old lifter. Dude, it's not even comparable. It's not even comparable. So, and they communicate different. No, they communicate different. Yeah. Guys need the tough love. Guys need the tough love. Generally, what you will find with women who are going to hire you to coach them, they're actually going to pay you money to coach them. Their money. They just do what you tell them to do. And if they have questions, they ask you. Let me state that again. All right. When women pay you to coach them, men need to listen, take notes. Okay, you ready? When women pay you to coach them as a strength coach, they do the program you give them. Like exactly as you write it. And then if they don't understand something or they don't like something, they ask you about it. I'm not going to give percentages because that would reveal mine. I don't want everyone to know how many clients I have these days. I can give you a number. I have exactly one female client at this moment. So, I've had quite a few in the past, though. So yeah, so that's no, it's not sight. But that is how women operate when they hire you as a strength coach. They just do the program, and if they have questions, they ask you about it and they give you feedback. Crazy. Is that not crazy, guys? Can you imagine if men did that who pay you to coach them? You know how much easier my job would be? Like if my male clients just did these three things, like my job would be so perfect. Okay. Number one, they actually pay on time without me reminding them. They just automatically know, hey, my payment's due on the 10th of every month, and they just pay you. Okay. Right? Number one. Number two, they do the programs exactly as I write them, and they don't deviate. Number three, if they don't understand something or they need help with something or they're worried that we might be doing something wrong, they simply approach and ask you about it. Imagine if men did this as clients who are paying you, by the way, to coach them. You know, do you know if men did that, I could probably get the average guy to a 500 squat? Like literally just a normal guy, you know. Yeah, it's phenomenal. The women are insanely easy to coach. Like, dude, I've said that before. Give me a team of 20 female lifters, and my job would be so easy. All they would do is just recreational lifter women would all be going to nationals in powerlifting and not even realize they're that strength level. Keep them out of the commercial gyms, and they would never even know. They would never even know they're an advanced lifter or an elite lifter in a matter of years. They'd have no clue. You know. Yeah. Hey, Chris, but would you stack your wrist on the bench press? Would you stop bouncing the ball? Would you pause every rep if I told you to? If I told you to stop one, if I were to prescribe a weight, say, I want you to do 100 kilograms for this set and take it to one rep in reserve, would you do that? I'm going to bet since you are a male, there's a 95% chance you will not do that. I mean, even my elite lifters who follow it all the way through, they'll tend to deviate and then get hurt, and it messes the whole program up. I tell them not to do something, and they just get it in their head and they just YOLO. One of my younger guys, man, and that's the problem. I have to keep them away from other guys. Like, I can tell you right now, for young guys as a coach, your nightmare scenario is when they go do a workout with their mates. You might as well just fire them at that point. Like, the second they go do a workout with one of their friends or their cousin or their bros, dude, you just need to fire them. You got to cut them loose. You have to keep them away from other guys. You have to. You have to keep your male clients under 30 completely isolated from other men in the gym. They cannot be around them. They cannot work out with somebody else ever. Right? It is pretty much the death of your client. Well, Chris, I got to put your money where your mouth is. Coach, what would you do if another male instructed you to a certain weight and keep it 1 rep max? I tell him to eat a bag of dicks. The fuck does he think he is? That's what I would tell him, Rufio. Yeah, that was serious. Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? Fuck you. That would be my response. Are you paying me? Are you paying my bills? Are you my boss? Are you my dad? And my dad doesn't even talk to me like that. Right? You know. All right, guys. So now a woman can do it differently. They can be like, "Hey, baby, I want you to, will you go do this for me?" Right? That's different. Some dude with a dick won't tell me what to do. I don't think so. That's why I'm not coachable. Right? So, yeah. Jason's a 25 kilogram weighted sit up good. I don't know. I've never really, I can't think of the last time I did a weighted sit up. Right. I mean, I can work with a male boss, but there's got to be a degree of respect. Like, they're not going to raise their voice at me. It doesn't go well. Well, they probably do look thicker, Mustafa, but we got to work on that squat and deadlift. Yeah. I've had female bosses. We got along just fine. No problems. I've only had 2 ever, though. 2 female supervisors. Depends on the industry. But the difference is, like I said, the point is, are they paying me? Like, or you're paying me, that's different. But just in general, like, no, I don't have dudes tell me what to do. I'm just not interested. You know. But we come over back to the coaching thing. As a coach, if dudes would just do that, it'd be good. The problem with other dudes telling me how to lift I'm not going to trust another man's experience. I have way too much experience and knowledge in the game, way too well read of the methods of every high level coach in the world, right? The odds that I'm going to find someone who understands training enough to even give me advice is hard. I mean, I have a circle of coaches I compare notes with and occasionally ask something, but it's like we're talking guys with 20, 30 years of coaching experience that I'll occasionally have them look at something I'm doing, right? And we're talking people that is their whole life, like their entire career has been built around owning gyms, coaching people 20, 30 years. All right. Right. You know, so short of Louis Simmons, who's going to tell me anything? Like, I don't care. I mean, I read so much stupid stuff every day of people telling me how to lift. I mean, context, guys. Look how many people criticize all my back training. I don't know how to do any back exercise that I'm never going to build my lats. You know what I mean, guys? Yeah, one of my guys is really sick. One of my long timers. I'm like, dude, stay in bed. Get hydrated. Hydration, hydration, hydration. You got a virus, man. You need fluids. All right. Well, you can see that. I mean, it's like, don't you have a PhD? You probably are, fairly assertive. For how long? For how long do hair you? For what? All right. Because I find I lose a lot of strength after being, well, most people do, and a lot of it's dehydration. Like dehydration is your enemy during a virus if you're going to return to the gym. Salts, fluids, carbs. Salts, fluids, carbs. Do not lose water weight. How long do people? There's no set amount. I've had people who drop out at the end of the first month. I've had people who have coached for 4 or 5 plus years. A video game are a waste of time. I agree. I mean, Dad, let's come back over to, we'll treat this as a serious topic. My longest term, or because they're in and out, I don't know. I mean, it would probably be Justin, but he's back out at the moment. I mean, Louis would have been too. Louis, I mean, or the first person I coach who I still coach ever, but it's not part of my normal online business, would be 20 years. Yeah. I have someone I still coach off and on for 20 years. All right. So, Dad, you're over here struggling to get women, but you're obsessed with playing a video game all the time. I'm just saying. I think people brought that up and they were like, Rupi, it might have been you who said, I don't understand if somebody like, but didn't you play World of Warcraft? I'm like, I was already married. I played World of Warcraft with my brother-in-law. Soon to be brother-in-law. So literally my guild leader in WoW was engaged to my sister-in-law. I mean, like I wasn't single. I wasn't out trying to find girls. But then, as I've said before too, when I was playing video games in general, I was less productive, like as a man. So I generally advocate against them. I get the fun, but it's a useless time sink. Right? You could spend it with things that are personally enriching. Right? But the same thing. I mean, single guys. Do you really want to spend your free time doing hobbies that are going to put women off if you're looking for a meaningful relationship? And then here's the crazy thing, here's the cope. Like you'll say stuff like this, and I will get people in comments who will say, changing your hobbies to get women is simp behavior. And be like, well, enjoy masturbating with your sex bot in 10 years. You know, man, I hope you just wear that thing out. You know, the only way this works out is common hobbies and values. So, sure, if you want to be a gamer, you probably need to marry a woman who's a really hardcore, serious gamer. If you look at the competition for that small minority of women, you're competing with 50 other dudes for that girl. You better be bringing something to the table. And then you're going to have to deal with all of her other personality stuff, because if she's a really avid gamer, what is it that makes her an avid gamer? Why has she chosen that lifestyle? Yeah. Is it possible to meet a woman through gaming? I mean, I've known someone who did it. But, you know, the question becomes, did they work out long term? I don't know. Try to play, but after 40 minutes, I get bored. Yeah, you lose concentration. Like I would look at it and go, I could step away and be doing something that I could be making money. Hell, I could go post something so that I could make a video. I could message a client. I could be running down a client lead. I could work on my guitar. But I can play the guitar and get up and answer client messages 10 minutes in if I need to. Well, technically, music, we all saw yesterday the screenshot. I'm now a professional musician. Those who were in the chat yesterday, I got paid 20 euros to play the guitar for a minute in a live stream. I'm now a professional musician. So that's how it works. Yeah, you saw that. I sent it to I sent it to Matthias. He thought it was hilarious. He goes, I wouldn't overplay that just yet. He goes, but you are right. 20 euros. It's 20 euros. He goes, technically, that's the definition of a professional musician. Yeah. I've seen so many people have up their life. But do they really? I think the difference here is music is going to be more psychologically enriching. Have you looked at psychological studies on memory and cognition with playing and performing music? And it's still going to be a social activity. In other words, if we talk about quality of life and social circles, you are aware that even in social gatherings, sitting down, if you're good with an instrument or singing and people do stuff, you'd be surprised how much it still carries over into a social environment in a group setting. You know, you'd be surprised. You know, so I mean, at one point after my last divorce, I mean, after my last divorce, perfect example, that the power of music in just a group setting. So after my last divorce, when I moved back to Texas, right before I got with Brittany, where that was whole conspiracy to set me up with her. I'm over here chilling with some of my friends, and one of them used to like to play the ukulele and sing. We all, a bunch of us did karaoke. All of a sudden, I'm invited over, and I'm back there in her backyard while they're all hanging out. It's just me and three girls playing a ukulele and singing and hanging out. I mean, come on, guys. There are no other dudes there except her husband who was inside. You know, but then the other two girls are single, right? Two of those girls are the ones, two out of the three, who conspired to set me up with Brittany later. But you know, I digress. I did date one of them for a while. But music, man, music, being able to play an instrument. She's really good with the ukulele. You go over into those social settings. Music is powerful. So learning an instrument, other people actually want to hear you play. They actually enjoy it. It's good. No one wants to watch you play World of Warcraft. Yeah, no one's going to pull out a Game Boy at a party hanging out in social settings. Bust out a guitar. Bust out your piano. There's a piano there. Sure, but you're talking at high level musicians. But that's such a small number. I see the opposite. I've seen many, many people who music just enriches their lives and they're recreational, you know. But think about how much humans value music as part of our social experience. And this is why when guys who play video games, they compare an instrument to that. And it's like, um, no, music has been a critical part of the human experience in our social setting all the way back to Paleolithic eras. Like it's been a critical part of our group dynamic. It's part of the human experience. So though they're not really comparable at all, we have a rich history and we seem to be wired towards it. Um, it's like some experts noted. So let's say like you notice most hard rock and blues and a lot of metal is based on pentatonic scales. There was a thing that they found that when babies and mothers coo back and forth, that it's in the pentatonic scale most of the time. All right. What does this tell us about the human experience and the wiring of our brain? There's a lot. Are there many people who don't listen to music? I think those are relatively rare. There might be a lot, but I promise you they're a small percentage. What's up, Ryan? Right. Oh, he's talking about my professional musician post. Hold on, I'll link it. I'll link it and you can check it out site. It's also on my Instagram. If you're on Instagram, I cross post all my pictures. I never know. My Facebook's so hit or miss. I'll get one post like this with 5 likes and I'll get another with 300. It's just so hit or miss with the audio. Right there. Same things on Instagram. For those who don't use Facebook, weirdos who don't use Facebook. Let's see. Can I share it? It doesn't do the links on the computer. Let me see. Maybe that'll work. Will that work? Hold on, give me a second. Yeah, that technically should work. I think it's used as a tool. What that scale works, right? No, we don't know why it works like that. Music, I'll show you what scale we're talking about. So, talking about the pentatonic. All right. So, basic pentatonic scale. Right. All right. Pentatonic scale. Hence, notice I said rock and blues, so that was a perfect example, right? So it's all based in the pentatonic on there. So it's A minor pentatonic, right? Right. Trying to give you my Facebook, but it's not working. Yeah. Right. You mean it works fast. Let me see. So that's what they're talking about, the Facebook. So I linked the Instagram and the Facebook. Now EJ's gonna try tomorrow. What do you mean? What are you talking about? You're trying to give me your Facebook. It's quite strange. Okay. But so that's what I meant by the pentatonic scale music. So again, part of the human experience. When they found that the babies and mothers coo back and forth in the pentatonic scale, what does this tell you about music as part of the human experience? We'll get Sykes input. She's psych background and a musician. Sure, she has thoughts on that. In the meantime, I'm going to get coffee. Coffee break, drop your likes, right? Try hit that like, fellas. Let's get those likes up and we need more days like yesterday in the live. So we got a lot of super chats. Right. Super chats yesterday is more than this channel. I know people are like, why don't you return to the drama? It's just not worth it. I mean, it's not worth it. So peak YouTube, this YouTube channel used to clear over 50,000 US dollars a year when I did tons of drama. But there's a point where people took it too serious. They thought I really cared. That's what's crazy. Is that people really believe that I actually legitimately cared about all the stuff happening in YouTube fitness. It was just fun in a business. Like I literally did not care at all what any of these people did outside of my business. I don't know. I had between the two afternoon lives, I did a quick lunch one and then a later one. It was like it was $50 in super chats spread out, like just between those two. I need more of that though. But even then, do the math on that. That still wouldn't be the money this channel made when I did all the current event stuff. It still wouldn't. That like the channel made. I averaged $150 to $200 every day in ad revenue. Super chats didn't even exist back then. Uh, just when someone says for reps, what does that generally mean? 2 or more. Hey, Benjamin. I mean, basic English for reps means you can do it more than one time. 2, 3, 4, 5, 20. Yeah. Well, I'm not even talking about that stuff. That was different. We're talking about just the current events. I mean, I did that for a long time, though, for years. I mean, the channel made enough to pay my bills as a primary income right at that time. Um, but yeah, we got pretty good donations. I mean, it's not the best day I've ever had, but it's been trickling up. I've had a few $20 days lately. Supers. If super chats were around back then with the amount of traffic I got, I probably would have made thousands in super chats every month. Yeah. Another reason I probably just need to do more lives on here. And then I could scale them based upon my free time eventually. Yeah. But I agree. So if you think about the number of views I got back then, so even the super chat, the second one, right? It only got 300 views, but it made $38 in supers. Now it's going to make a few dollars in ad revenue too. Later you give 10 a day, yeah. Do you think the leg press lends itself better for higher reps, 10 plus? I think it does. I mean, machines in general, you got to be very careful. Also think about the amount of weight we load on there. Benjamin, as someone who's previously been really strong at the leg press, it's really, really difficult to do low reps on the leg press. Do you know why? When you get strong, you can't physically get enough weight on there. At what point, you know how hard it is to put 1,000 kilos on most leg press machines? So let's say you can do 1,000 kilos for 15, right? Let's say you can do 1,000 kilos for 15 reps. How do you even get down to 6 reps? I don't know, because it used to be hard to calculate. I mean, there was a point where when I used to do the leg press, like one of them at one of the gyms I was at, it was one of the big heavy slides. The slide was at least 100 pounds. And it would hold like 24 plates, right? But that wasn't even 20 reps. So it's like a lot of times I would have one of my bros over. I'd load 24 plates onto it. I had a bro who weighed 240, was a serious lifter on gear. I'd have him climb up on top and put a couple plates in his lap and just do knees to chest on every rep. I mean, so there's a point where, what do you do with it? So, I mean, let me figure out even the math now. So, I mean, I could do like 20 reps with that. So let's assume the slide was 150. Let's say we had 24 plates plus his 2 plates. That's 26 times 45 plus 150. He weighed like 240. So 1,560 pounds for sets of 20. My back squat was about 600 to 620 at the time. So, what do you do with the leg press? And you know how much work this is to leg press? So how do you even do low reps on it? Yeah. It would have been over 2,000. Hey, Dad, I was in my 20s, dude. I was like 26, 27 years old at that time. So that was 20 years ago, man. I don't know that I was a professional. Yeah, that was a different era, dude. That was a different era. People would be watching them. And those weren't curtsy leg presses. They weren't, oh, halfway. No, dude, you touch your knees to your chest. Like, come all the way and you leg press it. I don't think 1,300 would be hard, honestly. Yeah, hack squats are way different. So by comparison with the hack squat, I could put about 6 plates on each side, and I couldn't even get 10 reps, usually. This was way before smartphones didn't. No one even had thought of a smartphone. This was in the Nokia brick days. All right. I've never been to a Planet Fitness, no. I've never actually been inside one. Yeah, hack squats are a lot less work. And don't get me wrong, I think the leg press is a great supplemental lift, but keep in mind, it's hard to get. I mean, Matthias ran into this problem. We were using it in some of his vlogs, and noticed all those plates. So he's a 200 kilogram squatter. Like, even as a supplemental lift, he's just like, I don't like doing it because it's too much. So we do him single leg for him. If you guys notice, you're looking at it, he's got like 12, 14 plates on that thing doing sets of 10 on a big slide, and those were full reps. So even though some of his vlogs, one of my clients, see the problem? What's going on, Joel? They say they can, but again, just the issue, Scott, is the time and resources involved in loading a heavy leg press. So hence the point, it lends itself to high reps, because if you're actually strong, you really gonna try to do 6 rep sets on the leg press. You're gonna have 6 people climb up on top of it. It's like we're getting over into a lack of practicality. It's just not practical. Yeah, and it is. So, so there's your context. So let's say every time when I wanted to leg press, I got to put 24 plates. 24 plates. And then hand 2 plates up to the guy who's sitting on top of it. And then I got to, between every set, he's got to climb back down, and we got to hand the plates back up. They used to enjoy asking girls at the gym to climb on top. I think we've all done that too. We've all done that review. That's funny. I've done that too. The girl works up at the front desk. Like, Kristen, get up here. How did you climb up on this leg press, girl? Right. She'd be like, okay, daddy. No, I'm kidding. She didn't do that. Or did she? All right. GPP work at that point. Yeah, it is. What then is the best non-squat exercise for quads? I like sleds, man. Sleds are great. Sled work, front squats. We mean non-squat. What's this non-squat? Benjamin, we've had this conversation already. You need to squat. You personally need to squat. We've had this conversation before. Good night. Bass. AKA Dad. So is that what he said his Facebook was? What's the deal there? I don't understand what's going on. I'm like, why am I getting all these notifications on Facebook? And it's an admin approved 40 posts in one of the groups that have been sitting there waiting. What? What is all this nonsense? Got to make posts like this on Facebook. Good morning and happy Friday to everybody except people who don't squat or deadlift. That's my good morning status today. You still in contact? We don't talk, but he likes my stuff on social media. Yeah, CJ's cool. I like CJ. Good dude. All right. Yeah, CJ was fun. Uh, yeah, CJ Benjamin needs to stop majoring in the minors. That's exactly the problem. That's exactly the problem. And honestly, man, most of you guys out there, I could literally program 5 lifts for you and just have you go do conditioning work, and you would end up being fitter and more jacked than everybody you know. Look, squat, bench, deadlift, weighted chin up, some overhead press, go push a sled, jump and throw, run, done. Seriously, guys. Jamie Lewis and then Lewis Whitlock had a great. Well, it started with just Lewis and I doing it. I don't know. I might start eventually doing. A lot of people didn't like Jamie in there. Yeah, it started with just Lewis and I doing it. You know, Jason, say someone wanted to do 5 sets per week per muscle, and they were doing 5 sets of incline dumbbell press for chest. What would count that? Are they to failure? I probably would count it towards triceps. I'm not saying you don't need any other tricep work, but I don't know. I'd like to see a second. I wouldn't do just 5 sets of that one lift though. That way, maybe. Depends on how well their triceps respond, Joel. Are you doing any vertical pulling also? But here's your problem. Do you really think an incline dumbbell should be your primary chest exercise? I don't think Jamie will come back on. The fact that I refuse to not own firearms is a problem. So this created a conflict. But Joel, in general, you're pressing. I mean, in theory, pressing and pull-ups or chin-ups could be enough for your triceps. Yeah. May not optimize them, but they're still going to get a lot bigger. Yeah, music. So here are those 5 lifts that I just said, right? Squat, bench, deadlift, overhead press with barbell, and chin-ups, weighted chin-ups. Like seriously, if most of you guys just got really, really strong at your rep work on those 5 and just did GPP and conditioning and running, you would probably be the most jacked, fittest guy you know, at least drug-free, within a matter of years. But that doesn't mean you never do any other supplemental. But if you focused on those, you'd be good. They could throw a few sets in. Be picky on what you do. But the point is, I mean, we're over here looking for the most development possible. Do you really think an incline dumbbell should be your only real chest exercise? I'm not saying it's not a really great supplemental lift, but you better have some phenomenal chest genetics. You better have some top tier chest genetics making that your only real chest exercise. Like you better be having a rib cage like mine. I could get away with it. I could get away with it. You know, I'm going to agree with Scott. Dips would probably do what you're trying to do more effectively. As far as chest and triceps, dips are probably going to be a better choice there. You know, mainly just because the muscle work. And it's not that it's always say, guys, all the muscles eventually get hit on big movements, but the incline dumbbell is just not as big of a movement as you think it is. All right. All right. I mean, so Joel, is it my opinion, or has it been done in actual studies? Right. I mean, Jamie wanted me to start running, but he did give me tough love, but it wasn't really the factor later. So, hey Joel, have you looked at any of the studies on triceps and the bench press? Right? Or dumbbell? I don't think dumbbells are a replacement for the barbell. No. Yeah. Jamie didn't get me started again. Um, so if you look at even those lower volume studies that compared bench press with, say, skull crushers, right? They did studies where guys only bench press, studies where guys only did skull crushers. They did another group where they did bench press followed by skull crushers, another group where they did skull crushers followed by bench press. There was uneven development, but did the bench press not grow the lateral head more than the extension did consistently? For that whole group, for that entire group, the lateral head of their tricep grew more from the bench press than the skull crusher only group did. Now, I've seen some other experts look at those studies and go, they feel that gap would have been more normalized had they just done more volume, because they were doing like 3 sets a week. That's not a lot. No, Jamie is not pro firearm. Jamie is very anti firearm. He does not like guns. Yeah. Yeah, we got bag puss back there. Someone paid me to get bag puss out. They dropped a super chat for me to bring him out, so I put him back in the background after that. Yeah. I'm scared to take tricep isolation completely out. Like even this week, man, I'm throwing those extensions back in. Right. It's very hard for me to not do it. But when you cut them out, you get strong, right? Yeah. Yeah. Need a super chat to bring back the +5 out of weaponsmithing. But the same thing. So then you think in terms of pressing. The argument would be, well, in theory, pressing might not work the long head as much. It grows. So we need to be clear. People say, oh, benching doesn't grow the long head. Every study shows it does. It just shows that it's not a proportionate development. But what about chin-ups and pull-ups? I've even heard, let's talk about the current famous PhD fiasco with Dr. Mike. I've seen Dr. Mike actually literally write before that it's actually possible that your vertical pulling and your lat work could cover all of your long head needs and could completely replace any form of isolation for the long head of the tricep. Even Dr. Mike wrote that. I saw him write it. He wrote it in an article. I remain unconvinced with the overhead barbell with the long head. I mean, it works it, but when I really look at the biomechanics, and I've said before it probably does, but when I look close at it, I remain unconvinced that it works it more than a bench press does. Right? Stuff to think about. Man. Yeah, they're not arguing. We never get super chats in the coffee chats, though, unfortunately. We don't ever get super chats. These just end up being, these are fan service. Just hold on. I need to make some other posts, though, guys. Since we're not getting that, I need to make sure my other stuff is making a little bit of money. I need to make a Facebook group post. Give me a moment here, guys. There's a good joke status out of my list. And remember, it's important to put the Facebook lifestyle hashtag. We got to colorize it, then share it to 10 groups. Right? I can't believe people on social media not making money on it. I don't understand you guys. All right. The post is, my level of sarcasm is to the point where I don't even know if I'm kidding or not. There we go. Dropping memes. No, I'm dropping jokes today. I'm only doing memes when I re-up for the, I get more money for group chats off of jokes than I do memes. But I get a higher reach when I do posts. So anytime I'm up for the weekly bonus, which I've already exhausted it for the week, I'm waiting for it to reset. I already got the money. I'll flip over to memes with the hashtag. It was only $10 though, but still, $10 is $10. I did not get it this week so far on my profile though, which I'm pissed. I haven't got anything qualified. Because the one that would qualify, I put it up a day before, and it got a reach of like 500,000. So I needed 3 posts that hit 24,000 reach. That one got 500,000, but it was a day early. I might not get it. $10, $10. And the one a couple of weeks ago, it was like $30. I grabbed that one on the profile. I mean, obviously, you get paid for everything. You get paid for every single post. But it's the bonus. They throw you an extra bonus if you hit certain metrics. And it just automatically, the second you hit that metric, it just rolls it right in. Yeah. Benjamin, I'm starting to really see the value of prioritizing leg training. I actually feel healthier and fitter when I train my legs properly, even though I only squat 40 kilograms, right? We need to get that up to 140 kilograms. You get that up to 140. Finish off some Greek yogurt. I could eat pots of this stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I stopped protein overfeeding this last week. I'm just going to carb up. Just going carbs. I don't need more than 2. It's hard for me to even eat less than 200 grams of protein. Like I can try to keep my protein a hair lower and still hit 200 grams. I'm just going to reach over and snack on some protein. Oh, I got chicken breast all in here prepped. I'm going to jump in and just eat half of one randomly if I'm hungry for a snack. Right. Right. Yeah, he needs to get to 140. Hey, Benjamin. You saying you like to do high reps. No, you don't. You're scared of weight. You don't like doing high reps. Nobody likes high reps on squats. No, if you were actually strong, you would not like doing high reps on squats. You would be like, sweet Jesus, let me go back to fives. You ever done a 20 rep squat with actual weight? Yeah, exactly. I can tell you right now, as a real lifter, nobody who's strong likes high reps on squats. Like, please just let me max out. I would rather just let me just hit a 1 rep max, please, God. Right? Limitless, why are you, what are you ashamed about? Why are you ashamed? We got to talk about your confidence thing here, man. Because after what I said about that girl from yesterday, I'm ashamed because I did use Viagra. So what, man? We've all used a bedroom PED every now and then for a long night of fun. Dude, my first wife used to like Levitra. She would go get half a Levitra when we wanted to go all night. You know, you want those 4 or 5 hour marathon sessions, man. Half a Levitra is ready when you are. You know, I need to have a filter that just popped out. Take half a Levitra, it's ready when you are. What's up? That was my joke back then. Oh man. Yeah. I think that was like their advertising line. Levitra, it's ready when you are. Well, I was in my late 20s. You know, it's all good. I mean, look, sometimes your girl, you want an all night marathon session sometimes. Yeah, he gives off the strong. I watch a lot of anime, but you got to drop the anime, man. You got to work or get under a barbell, right? So, did you need the Viagra, or were we just using it for some recreation here? You know, there's a difference, bro. Look, I get it. A bedroom PED every now and then can be fun. Now, if you need it, it's a problem. You got to talk to your doctor about this. You know, you got to talk to your doctor about this. Right. Yeah, we get that vibe, man. Oh, they must need some tough love, coach, right? He's got to have it. If you're standing around feeling ashamed about stuff instead of building your confidence, this is not good. So, what exactly is the issue here that you're having? Are you just it won't get up, or what's the problem? Are you addicted to porn? Right? If you're not obese, yeah, they should be doing blood work testing. If you don't have low testosterone, you're not obese or out of shape, and you're having ED issues like that with a woman, then you may be a porn addict. Honestly, might be time to address that. You know? Yeah, yeah. Where's the other guy with the squats? Dude, somebody likes high rep squats. No, dude, you're scared to put weight on the bar. You don't like high rep squats. I can assure you, when you put 140 kilos on that bar for 20, you're not going to like high rep squats at all. I quit porn. No, no, no. Quitting porn 3 weeks. So, okay. that doesn't mean you're not a porn addict. I mean, dude, I quit porn 3 weeks ago, but now my dick doesn't work. You know what I'm saying, bro? I mean, Michael says, "Hey, Jason, today is my 25th birthday. It would mean the world to me if a legend like you wish me a happy birthday." Hey, Michael, happy 25th birthday, man. I hope you have a wonderful birthday, bro. For squats, I do heavy triples and drop down and do sets of 8. Yeah. I do one set of squats and I quit right now. I do one set. Are you supposed to feel most when you're in? So what? Yeah. What? I mean, are you talking about your feels? Or are you talking about your feels? Imagine doing a set of 3 on squats. You've watched me squat 605 for 1 rep. That's like 270 something kg for 1 rep. Getting with loose one. That's not about the loose one, dude. I've never found a loose vagina in my life. I think that's a myth. Like, seriously, if any of you guys ever, I've never experienced that in my entire life. One that was too loose to feel it. Come on, guys, just stop. No better feeling than being on the side of them shit. Exactly. So what are you guys talking about, man? Yeah, that doesn't sound right. No, not at all. I don't know. That sounds like that red pill talk, right? You know, women. This is red pill dudes. You know, women get really loose if they've been with a lot of partners. No, dude, that's not how it works. That's not how it works at all. Right? Because she's when someone like me watch porn every day for 5 years, develop a death grip now and then. That sounds like you desensitize some stuff. Plus, probably psychological. Yeah. So if you watch porn every day for 5+ years, no, that sounds like a porn addiction issue. Yeah. So yeah. No, I definitely think this sounds like a porn addiction problem. I agree. You're probably gonna need to just wean yourself off of it, right? Just gonna give real talk there. This is a classic porn addiction problem, homie. I think this is pretty textbook. Anybody disagree with that? 25, works out, struggling to get an erection without Viagra with a real woman, watched porn every day for 5+ years, and then claims he can't feel anything when he decided, yeah, this is a porn addiction. This is what it is. You got to wean yourself off that prawn. You got to wean yourself off the prawn, bro. It'll work wonders for you. That's also so you're dealing with this confidence issue, right? Right. So, and then you're the same guy who talks about you're having confidence issues with women. Okay, again, classic porn addiction, man. So your solution: stay off the prawn, get in the gym, get in shape, build your confidence back up. It's all good, man. Yep. There's a lot. It's not even 5 years, maybe even 10. Well, there you go. You should be keeping this to yourself. Now he comes and drops all this stuff in there, Benjamin. And Limitless is almost. I mean, I give it the best I can because he comes into the chats, but it's like, come on, guys. Well, he's anonymous in here, so at least he's not. People don't know his identity. He's not all up on my Facebook. But see, there's that lack of confidence right there. And why are you worried about what Benjamin thinks? Limitless. Why are you worried about what a guy who squats 40 kilograms thinks? No offense, Benjamin, but seriously, dude, are you serious, bro? Come on, guys. No offense intended, Benjamin, but let's be realistic here. Dudes in here worried about what a man who squats 40 kilograms thinks. Like, are you serious? On that note, I gotta get coffee. All right, we're back. Coach, that was very harsh on Benjamin. What do you mean? I don't think it was harsh at all. It's some tough love. Dude's over here, paralysis by analysis every day. Every day, doing work sets of 40 kilograms on the squat, literally asking me about leg extensions. Right, there you go. There you go. So talk to a therapist about it. So it sounds like a porn addiction problem to me, man. It seems like this is going to be a part of men's fitness stuff. No matter what I do, these are things that dudes care about. So if I'm gonna get up and talk fitness to dudes, I mean, these topics are going to come up. They're unavoidable. They really are. But I mean, isn't this part of men's fitness? I mean, if we're really going to have these conversations, like as I talk about training for men, I talk about healthy masculinity. Can we even avoid these topics? Is it even possible? I don't think that we can avoid these topics. These are real issues out there, dudes. I just don't agree with the silly No Nut November and all that nonsense. Look, porn addiction, if we get dudes get into the crazy semen retention, I just ban them because that's weird. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Our advice might not be the best, excluding coach, but I'm still going to give advice. Dudes ask me for advice. Yeah, but a lot of dudes give stupid advice. They do the whole the no fap and the semen retention. Let's just stop watching porn. I don't know that it's a problem. Meaning, does he hop effective programs, Joel? And I understand the point of needing to stick out a program for a few months, right? But realistically, if a person rotated every 3 months to different effective programs, they would make gains. Does anybody disagree with that? Right? Oh, well, he hops weekly. Is it true program hopping? So we're talking if we're just changing bodybuilding programs and stuff, right? Or are we talking someone who just adjusts some of his exercises every week? I think there's a big difference. Yeah, music. What's this incel stuff, man? I may not be the right. You're not gonna like my philosophy. You give up on trying to find a woman. Why don't you get your shit together? Get your stuff together. Corn and windows. No, they don't go hand. Alan, they don't go hand to hand at all. Do you guys not understand this? That's like saying the Smith machine is bad and it's hurting me, so I'm not going to exercise. Okay. And then saying, well, Smith machine avoidance and not exercising go hand in hand. Do you know how stupid that sounds? So think about that. Smith machine bad, so I'm going to abstain from exercising. You know? Okay. So Alan, in that case, they need to stick with the porn because it's the lesser of two evils. Okay. And I hate to be that way. So if a person they can't separate the two, then they need to just stay a porn addict. They'll be healthier. So, like semen retention is deadly. You could die. This is dangerous. You cause prostate cancer and all sorts of problems. This is stupid. So in this case, I'm going to say they should keep watching porn. Would be the lesser of two evils. All right. If you have to pick between porn addiction and semen retention, then they should just stay a porn addict. It's healthier. I don't know how long it's safe, but we know that, yeah, that's still not going to work. So the lowest rates of prostate cancer are generally noted in men who ejaculate at least 21 times per month. That's the statistics show. That demographic has the lowest rates of prostate cancer, for example. So what's the math on that? 30 days in a month, 21 times. Basically 5 times a week. So, I mean, again, this is nonsense. That's 2 out of 3 days. Yeah. All right. So I don't see why dudes can't just stop porn and still either do stuff or have sex with their girlfriend. I don't understand what the issue is then. Yeah, you can totally choose. You're just like, no, I'm not going to have sex because I'm retaining my semen. That Jezebel can't have my seed. Like, you know how stupid that sounds? So when the dudes talk about that November, they talk about semen retention. Like, so you're just going to be a celibate, like, you're not going to have sex. So if your girlfriend wants to have sex, you're going to tell her no. You're not going to date. You're going to divorce your wife. What are you doing? I don't understand this concept. I don't see how this is healthy at all. Like, I don't understand. So when dudes do this semen retention thing, I'm like, so are you going to go become a Catholic monk in a monastery? What are you doing? So you're going to break up with your girlfriend. You're not going to date. You're going to divorce your wife during this semen retention phase. This is what you guys are doing. Really? I don't get it. It's stupid and it's harmful. Literally going to harm your health. This is sheer stupidity. 3 months. Oh, no, hell no. You lost your own mind. Yeah, they lost their mind. How about they just not watch the porn? See how easy this is? I mean, I have practical solutions that don't involve any of this craziness. Hey, why don't you just delete the porn off your computer, off your phone, and don't look at the porn? You could just do that also. And that would be a much better option. Just saying, guys. Can you block the website? Well, Benjamin, they could just choose not to go look at it. Like, I'm not understanding the connection of between dudes can't engage in any form of single activity. You know, like, this is ridiculous. And this is the problem with these sort of communities online. They come up with absurdity. Like, this is absurd. And Benjamin, back to that point, you admit the thing. You're just scared to get under a heavy barbell. Exactly. There's our solution. Let's just go to direct solutions. This is why people pay me to coach them. Okay, so it's not the end of the world. So they have a relapse. All right, fine. But that doesn't mean that they should try to physically harm their body. That's what doesn't make sense. You know. Then I would think it's the opposite. So now they've made the association. I think it's doing the exact opposite. I think it's doing the exact opposite. Because now in their head, they're making the association that if they don't have porn, then they can't do anything. Well, now they're reinforcing it. This is a problem. What they have to learn to do is to just not use it. Right? So, right. People need to make things more complex than they really are. I'm saying this as a coach who deals with stuff all the time. People want to overcomplicate things that don't need to be. I drink a lot of coffee. I drink a whole pot in the morning. A whole pot. And here comes the regular question. And the answer is I have no idea. I don't care. And it's not worth finding out. How many milligrams of caffeine do you drink a day? I have no idea. I have no idea how much caffeine is in coffee. Hey, coach, if a scientist came out to you promising that they can add 50 years to your lifespan, would you take that opportunity? I'm going to totally believe them. Yeah, bro, man, I believe you. Right. Oh, you're just magically going to add. Yeah, I'm totally buying in just because you said that you can do it. No, I'm right on top of it, man. So do you have any real estate to sell me? Maybe some oceanfront property in Arizona for pennies on the dollar? They got some seafront property in Birmingham to sell. Have you considered becoming a life coach rather than a strength coach? Maybe, Benjamin. I don't feel that I have the outreach to be a life coach. You know, there's too many life coaches. Like this is just an oversaturated nonsense, man. I feel like getting people strong and under a barbell is the first step, anyways. All right. Oh yeah, that scam from the night. There's always these scams. We're gonna get always a scam, man. There's always a scam. I mean, keep in mind, I'm in the fitness industry. You talk about nothing but scams, right? Nothing but scams. The whole fitness industry is scams. We got products. You better come in a syringe, you know, because that's what they do, and then they sell you the supplement, right? Half these influencers couldn't coach their way out of a wet paper bag. They're going to sell you products. They're not going to teach you how to train correctly. I'm going to totally believe this scientist who says, I'm just going to have 50 years of your life. We don't have any data confirming it in long-term studies and meta-analysis. Yeah, I'm not going to be your guinea pig. I don't rate SARMs at all. If someone just squat, deadlift, weighted chins, and weighted dips with the upper chest, most likely lag, not just because of dips plus chin-ups. I don't think their upper chest would lag particularly. Not if they got really strong at the dips. Yeah, most of these influencers couldn't coach a finger up their bum, right? The fitness industry needs a scam as most would perform to die over working out. Right. Yeah, they can't coach. They don't know how to coach. They have no clue. All right, guys, I think it's time to wind this coffee chat down. Got to get my head straight to go do some heavy squats, bench, and deadlift. Love you guys, and I'm out.